maybe as a fan, I get a little ahead of myself. And maybe I did declare on social media it was the match of the decade. Maybe I need to reevaluate that. It's definitely match of the year, in my opinion. I loved
Match of the year.
I'm saying it right now.
Okay, I'm with it.
Because
I'm
we're
not
gonna have our
argue with
busty.
you.
We're gonna have our busties in 2 months.
Okay.
Our year-end awards, match of the year, John Cena and AJ Styles. And here's the thing, Bishop. Me and Bully talked a lot about this match and about, there's no story here. Like, they're both baby faces. Cena's retiring at the end of the year. AJ's retiring next year. Couldn't they have given this spot to maybe somebody younger, or couldn't there have been a story behind it? I kind of doubted having this match in the first place. Man, now I know why they had this match. It was fucking incredible. Thank you, AJ Styles and John Cena. And I don't mind eating a little crow, and I'll eat a little crow. I am so happy that we had that match on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were going to kill it because they have better chemistry than a lot of people, and it's crazy because they have very conflicting styles. No pun intended with styles there. That came out weird.
Yeah, I like that.
Here we go. Styles got style. It was just they didn't try to compete with their other matches, number one, which is something I loved. Their WrestleMania matches, those matches, they were balls to the wall, crazy stuff. The in-ring performance was amazing. And then to think now, a couple of years later, a few years later, they were going to go out and put on the same match, you're crazy. Like, they did an amazing job. Again, no build-up. You don't need it. I think with that level of superstars, you don't need it. But they still went out there and they told a story from bell to bell. And that's why they're the best to ever do this.
If you didn't like this match, go fuck yourself.
And
I think that, you know what? If you're one of these people that are going on social media and complaining about this match, go fuck yourself.
I mean, there were so many moments in this. The Fireflies hit me hard just because me and Bray were boys. Like, I missed late night conversations with Bray. And so you see that he's still being acknowledged. And also, let's talk about that Sister Abigail. That was vicious.
Dude.
Cena slung and look, AJ is one of my favorite people to ever work with because of what he can do with his body and the bumps he takes. And he likes to get in there and scrap, and he likes to get violent. I remember one time we did this cutoff where he would take a forearm something, and he'd fall over the first rope, but catch himself on the second. So he's kind of through, and I would run and I would kick him in the chest, and he would take the bump to the floor. And in one of our first matches, I did it, and it looked awesome. I crushed him. He hit the floor really hard. And then it was like 3 years later, we did it again. And he'd just come back from being hurt, so I didn't put as much stank on it as I normally do. And it kind of hit him, and he kind of fell. And after the match, he goes, "Hey," he goes, "you got to kick me like you mean it there. You got." So the next night I kicked him. He went like 15 feet, landed on his back, slid across the floor. I was like, "Better?" And he just looked up at me and nodded. It's like, but he's the guy. That's what he wants. He's going to go. And you watch that match too. Like, Cena's going to be $1 billion Hollywood entity. There's no denying it. He's crushing movies, TV shows left and right, Peacemaker, movies here, movies there. And he's going out there and putting his body on the line. He's giving his body to AJ Styles a lot of times with things that, the Styles Clash with, I can't remember the name of it, where it's on his back and he sits like a backwards tombstone. The rack neck breaker, all of those things, you got to have trust with the guy you're working with. And it's really cool to see Cena at this point in his career trust AJ with such big and dangerous moves. And I think it made it that much more special. And then all the tributes in this match were amazing.
Yeah, we gotta break it down second by second almost. So first of all, you get that crowd in Australia, all in yellow. Like, they all had the Cena shirts on.
Yeah, he did like 4 million merch.
Dude, it looked like a soccer crowd. Yeah. Like, John Cena was the home team. And then they come out. Props to Alicia Taylor. Does an amazing job as the ring announcer. I love John Cena passing the note to Alicia Taylor for the custom intro to AJ Styles.
And
where
that was legit.
Yeah, that was legit because it surprised AJ, putting him over as being the face of the place, and TNA and the Bullet Club, like the whole nine, putting over his entire career in that intro. And then the tributes. And And it almost seemed like that match was a love letter to the last 20 years. We've seen and heard of, love letters, Bishop, to the golden era of the 80s, right? And then we've seen love letters to the Attitude Era. We've never seen a love letter to like the last 20 years in pro wrestling and everything the last 20 years have given us. I think I got these tributes right. So if I'm off a little bit, Bishop, maybe you can help me. Maybe the nation can help me. First of all, what AJ was wearing was AJ Styles circa 2005 TNA.
Yeah.
Like that was his old school
Yeah.
TNA wrestling gear that he wore. Now, we got a lot of finishers in that match, but that was on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as I know, and I don't mean to correct Wade Barrett, and I don't mean to correct Michael Cole, but what AJ was doing was tributing TNA, and Cena was tributing WWE. And the reason why I say that is that that was a last call. That was James Storm's last call. That was not Sweet Chin music. Like AJ gave a tribute to Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Sting, Kazarian, and James Storm.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's so funny what names they will drop and what names they won't. Like, just don't ruin it by being weird.
Yeah.
It was like when Cena hit End of Days, that was so special to me. Like,
yes.
because I didn't know it was coming, and they called it a modified flatliner. It was like, give me a fucking break, dude. Just, he's doing it for a reason. And so, I don't know why they didn't drop, Sting by name when he hit the Scorpion Death Drop. And there were just other things like, yeah, I think they should just call it for what it is, and nobody cares, and it makes everybody happy, and it makes you not look bitter and selfish. And we're the king of pro wrestling. It just is like, hey, we're here for a good time, and we want the fans to have a good time.
I'm gonna, with the End of Days, I can't give him a pass, but with this, I can almost get, because maybe Michael Cole doesn't know. Like maybe he doesn't know the last call by James Storm. Maybe he doesn't know Angel's Wing by Christopher Daniels. Like, he never called their matches.
True.
He never worked with TNA. So maybe when he was seeing it, maybe he just didn't know. So I'll give him a pass. And even on social media, people saying Sweet Chippy, I go, no, come on, follow along. These are all TNA, because AJ Styles was such a big part of TNA for all that time. And then Cena. You got the Sister Abigail. You got the Walls of Jericho. You got the Undertaker's Tombstone. You got Miz's skull-crushing finale. You got the Accolade by Rusev. You got Triple H's Pedigree. You got Randy Orton's RKO. Maybe it wasn't, but I'm going to say Big Show Chokeslam. Okay? I'm going to say Big Show's Chokeslam.
That's a tribute to, I think, Taker, Kane, and Big Show.
Yeah, why not?
Let's give
fine.
it all three.
Let's give it all. And then the attempted 619.
Yeah. I also liked Cena tuning up for the punt, the Randy Orton punt to the head. I don't know, his fire up got me hyped because he was like doing the face and everything. Like Randy only does Randy, so it's fun to see John doing it. I think the only knock I have from this match, and the one big thing, is they didn't pay tribute to the Australian breakdancer lady from the Olympics. I feel like that could have been a moment.
Yeah,
in Australia,
maybe.
I'm just playing. This match was perfect, top to bottom. There's literally no critiques you can give this match whatsoever. It would have just popped me if John broke out the Australian kangaroo hop breakdance move from the lady from the Olympics, just because it was such a massive thing. And he was in yellow. Didn't she rock yellow too?
She did rock the yellow, which is the color for Australia. A little off topic for what they were trying to achieve in the ring on Saturday, bitch. But fine. Go ahead.
No, I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind.
I understand what you're trying to do there, Russo.
4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, that's not a shot. That's just the truth. but I enjoyed what I watched, and it's such a celebration
Yeah.
of what we see, and that's where, again, throw your 5-star rating out the window. Like, John Cena now has only 4 appearances left. 4. So let's celebrate it. That could have been his last one. That could have easily been his last match at Saturday night's main event, and nobody would have complained. And
Yeah.
and listen, and I just absolutely loved it. The fans were into every single moment. It was just a celebration, and I'm there for it. And we're gonna say goodbye to John Cena. And how many big matches is AJ Styles gonna have before he says goodbye? He said publicly that next year is gonna be his last year, Bishop. So I'm gonna enjoy it while I can, and I certainly enjoyed what I watched on Saturday.
Absolutely. And I think you're so dead on where that could have been the last one. And because it delivered on every aspect, just like the Dudleys and Hardys. It gave you the feels. Like, fuck the 5-star rating. Nobody cares about the rating in a match like that. I don't even want to hear what people want to think how many stars it was. It made you feel, it made you love pro wrestling, it made you appreciate the history. I love the fact that Miz got a skull-crushing finale in there from Cena, because I
Yep.
know Miz would love to work Cena. I mean, they had one of the greatest feuds of their careers together. They main evented WrestleMania together. And people forget that. I think Miz is so underappreciated in what he's done and what he's accomplished. And, people will say, mid card, or, he gets beat all the time. And it's like, dude, look at his track record. He's like a double Grand Slam winner. Like, I don't ever think that he will get the full credit for how good he truly is and the emotion he brings to wrestling until maybe he's done. But, having Cena hit that in this moment, this big of a match, was an awesome nod to Miz. And so I loved that. Like, I was hooked right when that happened. It just like I said, start to finish, music to entrance to the final bell, that was perfection.
I thought it was too. And here's the other thing you mentioned about The Miz, and I agree with you. Miz is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think people are really going to appreciate The Miz when he's done. Look at John Cena. I mean, people really didn't appreciate John Cena until this last run right now. And, how many times we're in the position that we're in, big match, main event, John Cena, and the crowd is booing, or the crowd's chanting, John Cena sucks. And here we are with John Cena in this last run, and everybody is paying top dollar to just be able to say goodbye to him. And I think he's had some of the best matches of his career in this last run. The match at SummerSlam with Cody Rhodes and this match on Saturday. These are two of the best matches I've ever seen from John Cena.
Well, I think he's got an advantage. He sees the end date. Like, if they told you were going to die in 6 months, you're going to fill those 6 months with really awesome shit. And he knows the end date to what he's doing. And so there's no pressure. I don't think he feels any pressure putting matches together, thinking about what he's going to do. I think he's just having fun, and he's going out his way. Forever I was the guy preaching, I want him to finish as a heel, walk away with the title, never to be seen again. And I'm so happy that nobody listens to me, and they are going to do what they do, because having John Cena just be John Cena right now is so fun and so amazing, especially because I look up to the guy in so many facets of life, in the ring, out of the ring, as a person, as a guy who I wish I could accomplish a third of what he's accomplished in his life on the daily. And it's just fun to watch him just go out and just be John Cena.
Yeah, and he was on Saturday. And you talk about a guy who brings a big match to every time he steps into the ring. John Cena is definitely that. And you're right, he's saying goodbye. And I don't think John Cena is the type that's going to okey doke the audience where, all right, this is my last match, and then he comes back 6 months later. And you talk about fans complaining about, hey, you never put anybody over. All he's done the last few years is just put people over.
Yeah.
Look what he just did for Brock at WrestlePalooza. And you talk about the heel turn, and I'm with you, Bishop. I said, hey, this heel turn could have really worked. And I still think it could have worked if The Rock did show up at WrestleMania 41. I think we're looking at a completely different story. But the one thing that the fans wanted to see from Cena was turn heel. Well, he gave it to you, and then the fans didn't want it. So all those years they were waiting for Cena to turn heel. He finally does, and the fans rejected it. And I think the smart move to swerve away from that as fast as you could and let him finish it out the way that they're letting him finish it out. It's the perfect way for him to finish his career.
Yeah, I mean, you're dead on. It took him one promo to completely flip back to the other side. Nothing more. That was it.
That's
so
it.
the audience didn't want it. It's like my kids. I want mac and cheese for dinner. Well, here's some mac and cheese. I don't like mac and cheese. Why would you give me mac and cheese? You know? And then it's like, well, what do you want? I want a Snickers. Not going to happen. But with John, yeah, everybody wanted to see the heel thing. They got it. They didn't like it. Was it done right? Who knows? I don't know. I don't write these shows. But getting this is so cool again. It's what we all want that are fans of pro wrestling. This is what I want to see, and we're getting it.